Wolves are flat out broke, but halfway through season 1 the club and fans needed a lift, so in came two wonder kids on loan scoring goals on their debuts, and now the Wolves revolution has well and truly begun. But in today's season finale, if we don't get European football, we could well see an exodus of some of our key players. And to kick things off, just when I was gearing up for my first press conference of the day, the top members of the board decided to knock on my office and really ramp up the pressure this season. Hi Adrian, the board has talked to a lot of the players and staff, and we have the objectives for this season and contract clauses. We believe this team can get top 8 in the Prem, increase the homegrown players to 25% of the whole team. The board want 3 youth players from England to come up from the academy and play 33% of the matches. But good luck Adrian, because we believe you're the man for the job, but we also have clauses in multiple contracts. Hugo Bueno will accept any top 6 club in the Prem, and we know that Pedro Neto wants to be sold after his injury, so if we don't get top 8, his clause will need to be met as well. So wow, that's some big talk from the board to kick us off this episode. Now I mentioned last episode I was concerned with the likes of Ryan Aït-Nouri and potentially with the likes of Matheus Cunha being snapped up by some of the biggest teams across Europe, but I've got to be honest, I hadn't really considered this man Hugo Bueno. As you can see from his stats, he hasn't really played too much this season, and that is because of the incredible performances from the 22-year-old Algerian. But if Aït-Nouri was going to be the subject of a big money transfer at the start of season 2, I was kind of hoping that the young man Bueno would be able to slip into his spot at left back and fill in his boots. But if the board are now saying that his position at the club is also going to be under threat at the end of the season, I mean, my word, if we don't achieve this 8th place spot that we find ourselves in after 20 games played, it could well be absolute chaos at the beginning of season 2 and a total mass exodus of some of the best players that I've got at my disposal here at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, the idea that the board want to prioritise youth development here at the club is slightly concerning. Not because it's not something that I want to necessarily do, pretty much because looking at our youth academy, it is very much slim pickings out there. The only one who really stands out is this man, the 16-year-old Portuguese Roldeal Gomes. But with him only being 16 years of age and 46 rated overall, he's not exactly going to get the move up to the senior team just yet. I guess we can take solace in the fact though that this man, Camilo Rocha, the 17-year-old Portuguese, did get his promotion up to the senior squad, having come through the youth academy, but with him only appearing 3 times so far in the Premier League, and while showing flashes of quality when he has come on, with him just being 53 overall rated, realistically in the short term he's not exactly going to challenge the likes of De Linga nor Jorgen Strand-Larsen for a starting spot, especially in the attacking areas. So thinking to myself, this is just too much for me to handle in season 1, I've got to try and see if I can reach back out to the board and reach some sort of compromise. Now look, with us being in 8th place in the Premier League table so far, with more than half of the season played, I'm really confident that that is an objective that we can achieve this season. But in order for me to do that, I'm going to have my best players on the pitch at all times. I cannot risk trying to blood some of the young players in. So either we get 8th place in the Premier League, or I start focusing on youth development. What is your priority? And with such a blunt approach, they've confirmed to me that youth can wait until season 2. The number one job here today is to make sure that we achieve our goals in the Premier League. We try and keep hold of our best players, and hopefully that will allow the club to grow and develop. So there we have it. It is full steam ahead. Can Wolverhampton Wanderers continue their fine form so far in the Premier League, achieve our goal of finishing in 8th place in the table? What do you guys think? Can we do it under my stewardship, or do you think we're going to bottle it this season? Let me know down below what you think. But just when I thought the demands were over, another board member has one more suggestion that he thinks will help me get that top 8 spot. Hi Adrian, a request has come in from the board requesting that you put custom instructions for your players, especially your strikers, to utilise their abilities and the rest of your players. Thank you. Now, to be fair, I have done a few different things tactic-wise this season, trying to move us away from this counter-attacking style over to a possession-based tiki-taka. I've also done everything I could to try and get the best out of the players and try and work around the injuries that we've received, switching to this 4-2-3-1 system. But I guess you're right, to be fair, one thing that I have not focused on whatsoever is actually giving some of my players explicit instructions to try and get the best out of them. And so maybe that is why halfway through the season, the likes of Jorgen Strand-Larsen and De Linga have been so gun-shy in front of goal, meaning that Pedro Neto, despite him being out for 2 months this season, is my top goal scorer with 6 goals in 11 appearances. So you know what, board member, I'm going to take your instructions on board. I'm going to encourage my central striker to get in behind as much as possible. I'm going to allow my central attacking midfielder to try and free roam around the pitch to pick up some nice pockets of space. I'm going to make sure that both of my wingers are cutting inside at every opportunity to add even more numbers to my attack. And hopefully that will allow the likes of Aït-Nouri and Nelson Semedo to do what they do best, bomb forward, overlap the attacking areas, and once again provide us with even more strength up front. And with us facing off against 9th place Brighton in our very next game, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for me to see just what sort of impact these tactical tweaks are going to make. Hot off the heels of 2 fantastic debuts for my new loan signees, they both get a starting spot as Kajerd fits into the midfield alongside Lamina and Gomez, and Roque will take the place of Wang out out wide on the left-hand side. So it's a Stupinian to kick things off here with a throw, and that's a lovely little header back down to him. And look at the space he's got. Where on earth is Nelson Semedo? Jonathan David takes it on, and Jonathan David, oh my word, in the near post, but fortunately enough, it looks like, yes, it is. The linesman has flagged offside. I was taken aback by just how easy it was for Jonathan David to volley that one past Jose Sá. Another shaky start for the Portuguese goalkeeper in between the sticks. Luckily enough for me, we just about get away with one. But Bueno to bring it out of defence, plays in Neto, who's come central to try and pick up the ball. That's a lovely bit of play there from the young man. Gomez out to Semedo on the right-hand side. Semedo with the overlap, driving forward, and that's exactly what I want to see from my right back. Can he try and find a ball in? Looks for the back post, tries to find Roque. It will fall back out to Lamina. Doesn't manage to get his hand on it. Gomez will pick up the scraps, tries to play it into Roque. Poor pass. Brighton escape with the ball. It's Ansu Fati will pick it up and plays it into the path of João Pedro, and the Stupinian's blocked off though by Hajerd. Exactly what I want to see, and that's a lovely ball into Pedro Neto, who tries to turn around the corner into Semedo. It was the wrong ball. That is not what you normally see from that man, but he's just about managed to get onto it again. Surely that's a foul, referee. That should be a free kick in a really good position. What on earth is the referee looking at? Lewis Dunk to bring it out of defence, finds Balaba. He's cut off though by Lamina, and Lamina wins it back in a really good position. Delinga looking for the overlapping run of Neto, can't quite find him, so takes it on himself, lines up the strike, smashed it against Dunk. Semedo on the overlap. Oh my word, what on earth was he doing with that cross? Horrendous, and that's a big opportunity that's gone begging once again. Jonathan David into João Pedro, options on the left hand side if he can find any of them, but Mika Marmol comes across with a crunching challenge once again. Stupinian with the throw into Lewis Dunk. It's been a fairly tame affair so far in the opening 40 minutes. Neither of these two teams, aside from that offside chance that Brighton had early doors, have really been able to fashion any clear-cut opportunities, but maybe Brighton are going to look to try and put an end to that here as they throw a ball in straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, and that is pretty much evidence of the poor display from both teams so far this game. Hajerd though will find the run of Aït-Nouri, another left back, will looking for the overlap, does manage to find the overlap and drives down this left hand side, cuts back inside, looks for Hajerd once again, took it on the shot, it rebounds back, Aït-Nouri will pick it up once again, throws it back into the box. And my word, going forward, we've been very, very poor so far. Or maybe it's going to take a little bit longer for the players to try and adapt to this new little tweaks that I'm making. And it's not exactly having the sort of impact that I was hoping for, as Aït-Nouri goes and gives it away in a really dangerous position. Sloppy play to start off this second half. And it looks like we've picked up the second half exactly as we ended the first. Ansu Fati into a Stupinian. Back out to Ansu Fati on the edge of the box. No one closing him down. Jose Sá forced into his first stop of the game. Well, Brighton have a corner, and at the moment it looks like it's the Seagulls who are performing better in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. Marmol heads it clear though, only on as far as Balaba, who picks it up right on the edge and brings it forward. Nice little pass into Ansu Fati, who's been involved, but Aït-Nouri tries to block him off, doesn't do a good enough job. João Pedro back into Ansu Fati. Balaba has it in the box now. João Pedro once again, and this time they do make us pay. And Brighton, 55 minutes in, take the lead in the second half. Poor, poor, poor. That's the only way I can describe it. Absolutely shoddy defending. No one closed him down, and by the time we did, it was too late. We cannot give him that much time and space in the box, and they made us pay once again. This time Brighton lead 1-0. Over to Semedo on the right hand side, takes it down, just shimmies his way past a couple of defenders. Really good play from the right back, and look at him storm down this right hand side. It looks like the tactical tweaks are really helping the Portuguese. He drives into the box, looks for the cutback, finds the cutback into Neto. It's blocked off. I look for the volley, couldn't quite find it. That's been the best chance of the game so far though. Well, frustratingly, the likes of Hajerd and Roque haven't exactly had the sort of impact that I was hoping for. So I'm going to change things up once again. I'm going back to having two men up front. Hwang will come on the left hand side in place of Hajerd, and Jorgen Strand Larsen will join Delinga up front. And I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to try and encourage my wingers to get as wide as they possibly can. Strand Larsen's going to be the man to try and get in behind, and hopefully Delinga can just drop into that false nine position, give us an extra body in midfield, and hopefully cause chaos up front. And with just 20 minutes remaining on the clock, let's see what these two players can do. And Pedro Neto wins the ball back in a good position now, and we'll try and bring this one forward. I'm going to try and see if I can find the run of Larsen. I do find the run of Larsen. Larsen has Delinga up ahead of him. Delinga picks it up, and Delinga puts it in the back of the net. My word, a matter of moments since I made the substitutions. What an incredible impact they've had already. Well, it was Neto who won the ball back, but having that extra striker and allowing Jorgen Strand Larsen to run the channels, he fed the ball into Delinga, who just picked up a nice little pocket of space. The defenders couldn't handle the pair of them, and Delinga with a wonderful finish to hopefully kickstart his form once again. They've dragged us back into this this game 1-1. Here we go then, we've got to try and wrestle momentum back into our favour, grab this game by the scruff of the neck and really take the 3 points here. Delinga does come short and plays a ball into Larson, who has played the channel, into Neto, who's just straight offside. And you know what, after the discussion with the board at the beginning of the episode, ain't Nori's going to come off. I'm going to give that man Bueno his opportunity to try and show what he can do. It's Igor though for Brighton, and he loses it to Delinga, and now having that extra striker is really helping us press higher up the pitch, and Delinga drives into the box looking for the cutback. Oh, he can't find the cutback to Wang. It will fall to that man Bueno though, who takes it on with his right. Oh my goodness, what an incredible impact these subs are having, and Bueno in the 88th minute has gone and given us the lead, and hopefully now we can hold on to it with just a matter of minutes and moments remaining in this game. Lewis Dunk takes it on, feeds it into Estupinian, Ansu Fati picks it up, the referee looks at his watch, we are deep into stoppage time here, Brighton playing it around at the back, Strand Larsen wins it, my goodness, how my word are we doing this, Strand Larsen into the box, it is 3-1, and we've done it right at the end. We have turned this game on its head. 20 minutes to play, we were 1-0 down, the subs have come on, and what a colossal impact they have made. Unbelievable scenes here at the Amex Stadium. Jorgen Strand Larsen got an assist, Bueno got a goal, and now Larsen has also got his goal for his troubles. Absolutely stupendous performances off the bench from all of the Wolves players, and he celebrates as he gives us a 3-1 victory. Well, inspired substitutions is certainly one way to put it. It's a win that lifts us up to 6th place in the Premier League, but the big talk is the tactical tweaks that won us the game at full time. What an impact this man Hugo Bueno came on. He was only on the pitch for a matter of moments, but getting a goal and helping us along to the 3 points, and my word, is he starting to show that great potential that he has. And might he well be the long-term replacement for this man, Rayan Aït-Nouri, if he decides to depart in the summer. And as for Delinga and Jorgen Strand Larsen, the pair of them have struggled since joining the club in the early transfer window, but hopefully both of them getting on the score sheet together and providing assists for each other will hopefully do the world of good and hopefully ignite their Wolverhampton Wanderers careers. And with those 3 goals in the last 20 minutes got me thinking once again, is it time that I gave this 4-2-2-2 system another go? But with me changing up those players' roles and utilising these tactical tweaks that have been recommended to me by the board, who knows, maybe this squad can achieve even more than an 8th place finish this season. And as we fast forward through the next couple of months of the season, it looks like things are really starting to come into play here at Wolverhampton Wanderers. It looks like Pedro Neto's delighted with how the team's performing, and why wouldn't he be, because 28 games into the Premier League season, we are still in 6th place, fighting for that European spot. And to make matters even more exciting, Matthias Cunha, my highest rated player in the entire team, the man that has that something special, has returned to the team after his long-term injury. But it then raises the question, do I stick to this 4-2-2-2 system that seems to be working so well, or do I now return back to this 4-2-3-1 to try and accommodate the 80 rated Brazilian? And after reviewing some of the results that we've picked up over the last couple of months, I'm sorry Matthias Cunha, but once again I'm going to make a bold decision. With both Delinga and Jorgen Strand Larsen almost tipping the double-digit mark this season in goals, I am going to stick with this 2-man up-front system in the hope that this can bring us European glory this season. But it seems like it has gone down like an absolute lead balloon with Matthias Cunha, because just a couple of weeks later he's called a meeting with me and his agent to discuss his long-term future at the club. He's told me that he wants to be a crucial player moving forward, and that sitting on the bench is just not something that he's willing to accept at this point in his career. And just like Pedro Neto told me at the very beginning of the season, he said if he doesn't get his way, he's going to throw his toys out of the pram, he's going to demand a move away from the club, and he's going to raise absolute hell in his final couple of months at the club if he doesn't get straight back into the starting 11 where he feels he belongs. But with us now moving up to 5th place in the Premier League table with just 7 games remaining to play, I have told my players I will not be bullied as manager of this football club, and if Matthias Cunha wants to get back in the starting 11, he's going to have to earn it the hard way. But as we move towards the back end of the season, it looks like morale is still happy in the camp and the players are not letting his behaviour affect them. And so with just 1 game left to play this season, Wolves have the opportunity to do something that we have never been able to do before, and that is to qualify for Europe via the Premier League for the first time in the club's history. And if we can do it, it will be the highest position that Wolverhampton Wanderers have ever finished in the Premier League. I'm sticking with the 4-2-4 system. Maciej Cunha will take his place on the bench. Here we go, and our shot at European football. And it's Pedro Neto to bring this one forward at the beginning of the game. Plays it into that man Jürgen Strand-Larsen, and Delinga will pick it up, and Delinga will look for Hwang. Has he managed to stay on side? No, he hasn't. It's headed back down though to Jürgen Strand-Larsen, who's picked it up, and now once again he can burst forward, and he's burst past about a couple of different Liverpool players, and he's played a wonderful ball into Hwang. Looks for across the box for Pedro Neto. The ball just wasn't strong enough, but Liverpool on the ropes. We've got a throw here. 10 minutes in, we're all over the Liverpool Giants here. Hwang into the box, looks for Delinga, shapes up to strike on his right. What a save from the goalkeeper. And it's going to be a corner, and momentum is with Wolverhampton Wanderers. We're piling men forward here, looking for an early goal, and hopefully we're going to get it here from this corner. Lamina fires it in, looking for Mika Marmo. Can't quite get his head on it. It will fall to Gomez though. Plays it back into Lamina, who's just going to try and lift it back over, but gets another corner. Once again, he will take it, and once again, I will look to the penalty spot. Thrown in this time, looking for Hwang. Headed clear though by Darwin Nunez. Gomez will get on the loose ball, and Lamina will get it back again. Throws it into the box. We get a throw. And it's a throw that Nelson Semedo will take. Fires it into Neto, who's absolutely taken out by Robertson from behind. The referee looks at him, doesn't even issue a card. What's going on today? We've got a free kick though in a dangerous position that Pedro Neto is going to be the man to take, and he's going to throw this one into the box. It's a good ball in, looking for Lamina, who just about got his head on it, but it wasn't strong enough. Liverpool clear their lines. Nori now looks into the channel, finds Hwang in the channel. Hwang lines it up on his right. Another big save from Alisson. McAllister to bring it away into Luis Diaz. Liverpool absolutely bamboozled here with the opening few chances, but we haven't been able to take advantage, and now Liverpool have the opportunity to counter-attack with Darwin Nunez into the box. Gomez tries his best to hold him off. Oh my word, what on earth was Darwin Nunez doing? But it's Trent Alexander-Arnold who still has it. Gravenberch into Mo Salah. What a save. Liverpool with their first corner of the game. End-to-end stuff here in the opening 26 minutes. Headed clear though by Mika Marmo. Out to Endo on the edge of the box. Plays it back into Mo Salah, who shapes it up on his left. Absolutely stupendous goal from the Egyptian. It's exactly the sort of quality you would expect to see from him, and Liverpool, from being absolutely battered in the opening 25 minutes, have taken the lead. Lovely play from Liverpool right on the edge of the box. Mo Salah had the time to pick his spot. We didn't close him down, and that's what happens when you do not. Lovely finish, 1-0. Hwang takes it on really nicely and goes central into Jürgen Strand-Larsen. That's a lovely little touch and turn away from the defender, and Jürgen Strand-Larsen still has it and plays it out to Nelson Semedo on the right hand side. Has he got any options in the box? Going to try and look for the cutback. I find the cutback into Jürgen Strand-Larsen. Takes it on his left. Alisson forced him to another big save. Well, that is the difference from having a world-class goalkeeper in between the sticks. He comes to their rescue for pretty much the third or fourth time this game. We just cannot seem to find a way past him. So it's Endo for Liverpool, into Darwin Nunez once again. Gravenberch now into Mo Salah. Mo Salah into the penalty area. Mo Salah takes it on. It's all too easy, and I'm smashing L1 to try and get focus on some of my defenders, and they just keep running in the wrong direction. All too easy for Liverpool. Look at my defenders. What is Nori doing? Goes in the total wrong direction, and it's so easy for Mo Salah just to run his way through the centre of my defence to apply a lovely finish to give Liverpool a 2-0 lead. And so the second half begins with us being 2-0 down, and to be honest, I don't really think the scoreline is a true reflection of the performance. I think we've absolutely battered Liverpool so far, but they've had one or two decent opportunities and they've taken them both, and that just shows the difference in quality between the two teams as Hwang tries to make his way forward. It falls to Larsen, who just ends up deflecting off of Matip. And now we've got another corner here, but we just cannot seem to find a way through this stubborn Liverpool defence. Neto fires it in, looking for Hwang. Darwin Nunez with the header away, into Neto, out to Gomez on the edge of the box. Gomez lines it up, Virgil van Dijk is in the way. Liverpool just cannot be broken down. Andy Robertson to bring it down the left-hand side, plays it into the path of Mo Salah, the goal scorer, full of confidence, goes past Mika Marmo like he's not even there, but can't get past Nelson Semedo. Good defending, and now we can try and see if we can hit Liverpool on the counter-attack. Jürgen Strand-Larsen looking for an option up ahead of him, finds the option of Delinga, who just doesn't have the pace to get there ahead of Robertson. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures on what might be his last appearance in a Wolves shirt following the end of his loan spell. Roque, the Barcelona wonder kid, will come on in place of Hwang on the left-hand side of my midfield to hopefully inject some sort of spark into this Wolves attack. And it's Delinga who picks it up, and he's looking for the run off that man Roque, and he finds him, and Roque now can try and burst down this left-hand side. He's got green grass to run into, but can he try and find someone in the box? He's looking to pick someone out. He almost does, but Liverpool once again defensively are just so much better than us. Darwin Nunez though, out to Mo Salah, and he's got the beating of Nori for pace, and he just knocks the ball past him. The left back is frantically trying to come across. The Egyptian's just too quick though, but in the end runs into a bit of bother, and Nori just about manages to spare his blushes. Roque will pick it up once again though, and Roque just manages to wriggle past a couple of challenges, and he's absolutely taken out there by Virgil van Dijk. The referee gives him a yellow. He's so lucky to still be on the pitch. Let's take a look at the replay again. Goes through the the back of him, makes no attempt to play the ball. Referee, what are you seeing? Liverpool, though, play it down the line on the counter-attack. Aït-Nouri looks like he's absolutely spent by having to deal with Mo Salah all game. Mo Salah, lovely little flick back into the path of Szoboszlai. Gives it to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Loses a bit of momentum as he's unable to keep control of the ball. Virgil van Dijk on a yellow card. Back out to Konate, into McAllister. Lovely little touch and turn away from Gomez. McAllister into the box, finds Darwin Núñez, but Semedo manages to get the ball back. Now it's into Pedro Neto, and Pedro Neto to try and lift this one over into Jürgen Strand-Larsen. Can he get there ahead of Konate? No, he can't. Liverpool once again defensively holding firm. Mo Salah once again down the right-hand side. He's run Aït-Nouri absolutely ragged, but fortunately enough, the Algerian just about manages to get on the end of that one. Victor Roque into Delingo, tries to go round the defender, but the referee has enough and calls for full time. So there we have it then. The Liverpool fans fly the flag high once again. After that victory, they will be crowned Premier League champions. But for us, after suffering defeat on the last game of the season, our European fate awaits. Fortunately enough, though, it seems, with results going our way, we have maintained our 5th place spot in the Premier League. At the end of the season, we finished with 67 points. My word, what a fantastic way to end this Premier League campaign. We've achieved what Pedro Neto set out for us to do at the beginning of the season, and that is to qualify for European football. Jürgen Strand-Larsen had a fantastic campaign after switching to 2 up front, getting 16 goals to his name and finishing off our top goal scorer. Hwang actually turned his season around with the arrival of Roque with 13 goals and 11 assists. A fantastic campaign for the 28-year-old Korean. Delinga really turned things around in the second half of the season, 12 goals to his name. And as for Pedro Neto, a decent campaign for the 24-year-old Portuguese after 2 months out. 8 goals, 4 assists in a good finish to the season. However, despite me achieving what the board wanted me to do in my first season as Wolverhampton Wanderers manager, with us only qualifying for the Europa League rather than the Champions League, I am sure some of the biggest clubs in Europe are still going to be sniffing around for the signature of some of our best players. Will Matthias Cunha forgive me after our rift in the second half of the season, and will he remain a Wolverhampton Wanderers player? How many big teams are going to come in for Rayan Aït-Nouri, who despite having a troublesome game against Mo Salah in the last game of the season was absolutely stupendous at left back for me? And with João Gomez now up to an 80 rated and being a real figurehead in the heart of my midfield, I'm sure some of the biggest teams are also going to be looking for his services as well. I still got some question marks about whether or not Nelson Semedo is going to cut it for me on the right hand side of my defence. Jose Sarr has let in some real howlers so far this season, and I've got a big question mark as to whether or not I want to replace him as my number 1 ahead of our first European campaign. And with potentially Victor Roque coming to the end of his loan spell at the club, as well as Maurice Hajerd as well, I've got a big decision to make. What do you want me to do with both of these two men? Depending on how much they're going to cost, do I want to consider trying to bring them back in on a permanent basis? Should I maybe try and consider bringing them back in on loan as well? Or do you think we've got bigger fish to fry here on my shortlist and there are better players that I can bring to the club on a permanent basis? Once again, scouts at the ready, let me know what you think. So ahead of the start of Season 2, I'm hoping that European qualification will give us a European-sized budget next season. And of course, with that in mind, let me know down below, what sort of players do you want to see in a Wolverhampton Wanderers shirt next season? What sort of players do you think I should stick on the transfer list to get some much-needed money for? And which of these players do you think I should potentially consider trying to cash in on to give me some much-needed budget to spend in other areas of the pitch? Because that is going to be that for the end of today's episode. Thank you very much for watching this season. I really do appreciate your comments, your feedback. It really goes such a long way to improving the quality of these episodes. And ahead of Season 2, please do keep them coming. I appreciate it so much, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.